What's up, everyone? XA Gucci 23 here, and I'm back with another video. Alright, guys, you can see the bracket is set. So I'm here to give you guys my prediction who I think is going to win the World Series of 2019. So we're going to start off with the American League wild card. It's the number 5 seed Tampa Bay versus the number 4 seed Oakland Athletics. Now, I really do like this series a lot. I felt like both these teams were a sleeper. You have Oakland was neck and neck with Minnesota and Cleveland Indians until Cleveland Indians lost the last game and then they got eliminated. So here we are with Tampa Bay versus Oakland. And who I think is going to probably come out of the series, I think it's going to probably be Tampa Bay because Tampa Bay has pretty much been a sleeper team this whole season. You know, they put like been neck and neck with New York, so I think they're gonna probably come out of the series and beat Oakland because, like I said, Oakland's a pretty good team, but I felt like Oakland don't have the pieces yet to win the World Series yet. They're, like I said, because that's a very young ball club. So, like I said, I have the number 5 seed Tampa coming out of that series and advancing to the American League Division Series. So then now we move to the American League Division. It's the number 3 seed Minnesota Twins coming out of the AL East Central versus the number 2 seed New York Yankees out of the American League East. Now my boy Pete Money is a New York Yankees fan, and I'm gonna say this. I think New York is gonna come out of the series. Uh, Minnesota probably might steal one game, but I just see New York beating Minnesota in 4 games and advancing to the American League Championship Series. So then we move to the other round of the American League Division Series. Like I said, I had Tampa Bay coming out of the wild card. So number 5 seed Tampa Bay versus the number 1 seed Houston Astros. I'm gonna like this series a lot. I think Houston, just to me, in my eyes, is still the best team in baseball. So I see Houston pretty much coming out of this series, uh, 3-1. Like I said, I think Tampa probably might steal one game, but I just think Houston is just a better team. Okay, so then after that, we move on to the American League Championship. Like I said, I have New York Yankees coming out of the first round versus Houston Astros. Now, like I said, this is going to pretty much be a very good instant classic between both teams. I know P Money is going to hate me for saying this, but I think Houston's going to pretty much come out of the series. I think Houston's probably going to beat New York in like 6 games because I just think Houston is just a better team. Like I said, they proved that last year, but they lost to us. You know what I mean? They lost to the Red Sox, and like I said, and they won the World Series in 2017. But I think Houston's gonna come out of this series. I just think Houston is just a better ball club this year, and then they've proven it as well. So sorry, P Money, brother, but that's what I think is gonna come out. So we move on to the National League wild card. You have the number 5 seed Milwaukee Brewers versus the number 4 seed in the Washington Nationals. Like I said, I'm not really too familiar with both these clubs, but if I have to pick who's going to come out, um, I'll probably say if I had to pick, I'm just going to probably go with Washington Nationals. I think they're going to probably come out of this series and advance into the National League Division Series. All right, so we move on to the next one, the National League Division Series. You got the number 3 seed St. Louis Cardinals versus the number 2 seed Atlanta Braves. Um, if I have to pick who's going to come out of this series, I'll probably say St. Louis Cardinals. Um, St. Louis Cardinals always seems to show up in the postseason. Like I said, I used to remember back in 2013 when St. Louis Cardinals went to the World Series with the Red Sox, and the Red Sox beat them. And I used to remember St. Louis when St. Louis won 100 games and they lost to the first round. But I think they're gonna probably come out of this series against Atlanta Braves and advance it to the National League Championship Series. So, like I said, we move on to the other National League Division Series. Like I said, I picked Washington Nationals to come out of the series. So then that's they are the number 4 seed versus the number 1 seed, LA Dodgers. If I have to pick who's going to come out of the series, I'm probably going to pick LA. LA always looked good in the beginning of the series. So, because like I said, they have Clayton Kershaw, and I think I'm not sure if he's still on the team, but they got Joe Kelly, who's really good in the bullpen, so that pretty much can help them. So I think LA might come out of that series. I see the Dodgers probably sweeping Washington Nationals. So now we come to the National League Championship Series: St. Louis Cardinals versus um, LA Dodgers, which is going to be an instant classic. Once again, like I said, I see LA coming out of the series in 6 games to pretty much advance to the World Series. So pretty much then we get the rematch of the 2017 Classic, where you had Houston versus LA Dodgers. Now, like I said, the thing though about this matchup between Houston and LA is that Clayton Kershaw, right? Like I say, Clayton Kershaw looks good in the beginning of the postseason. Then when it's time for him to show up for the big game, the World Series, he instantly chokes, and that messes up the whole uh, rhythm of the team. Just like last year, Clayton Kershaw choked again last year, and when he lost to the Red Sox, and like I said, I felt like that's gonna probably become a trend with him. I mean, like I say, he looks good in the beginning. Then when it comes to the debate game, he instantly choke, and that really does fucks up the team. So I see Houston beating LA Dodgers in 6 games and winning the World Series of 2019. But you guys tell me what you guys think of my prediction. This whole thing goes down tomorrow. Like I said, the first game is Tampa Bay versus Oakland. Starts at 8 o'clock. I'm gonna be watching the heck out of this. You guys tell me what you think of my prediction in the comment section below. I am out.